So in Comstock, I think it was Nate called, it said next service is 44 miles. I had just below half a tank, but I've had a headwind the whole way. This better be gas. I'm in trouble. I have no gas in my gas tank either. I've been using it in my generator. Oh yeah, looks like the only gas station around. It's pretty popular. Cool.
Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Got to mind your own.
Price you pay for being out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, really? No, thank you. There is nothing like these old western towns. You gotta see this. You know, everything is so compacted in the east. I don't know what it is. It's smaller, I guess, you know, and all the little towns are cute, but they're all pretty crowded usually, you know, and here you just kind of get this laid back. It's different. It's different. Not good or bad, just different. They were advertising tacos, breakfast tacos at the gas station. And I went in, stood in line for a minute. I was going to get one, an egg one. I've been thinking more and more about becoming veggie rather than vegan. I don't know why. I'm just craving eggs lately. Tuna fish a little bit. So I was thinking maybe become vegetarian since I will be eating fish in Mexico. But I don't know. Anyway, I decided not to do that and instead to make my own vegan breakfast sandwich. I love these. This is so good. Beyond sausage, just egg, delicious. God, it's so good. And this is where motion video ends for the time being. In case you don't know, as a professional YouTuber, I am not allowed to film in national parks without a costly and time-consuming permit. They treat an independent YouTuber like me with a cell phone the same as they treat a Tom Hanks movie. So I didn't want you to miss out on my time in Big Bend, so I have a lot of still photography for you. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to show you around, tell you about Big Bend, and on the other side, we're going to visit a ghost town. Big Bend National Park in Texas lies on the border of Mexico. It's got over 801,000 acres and sees more than 581,000 visitors a year. It's got a really diverse landscape and a rugged terrain with its highest elevation at 7,825 feet at Emery Peak. and its lowest elevation at 1,715 feet at the Rio Grande. Big Bend officially became a national park on June 12, 1944. These are the ruins of La Harmonia store, which was built between 1919 and 1920 to serve as the barracks for U.S. cavalry troops stationed here during the Mexican Revolution. The soldiers probably never occupied the building as the revolution ended and troops were withdrawn shortly after. They were then purchased by some locals. Archaeologists estimate there are over 10,000 ancient sites within the park, dating back as far as 8,000 BC and covering several different eras. The prehistoric and historic activities occurred over 10 millennia, during which Big Bend emerged from the end of the Ice Age, passed through a brief period when the woodlands covered much of the area, and gradually evolved into its present form and climate, which is mostly desert. High desert. Oh, and if you want to buy anything at the visitor center, guess what? They no longer take cash. That's right, credit only. Cards only. If you're into birding, you probably aren't going to want to miss Big Bend. Big Bend has more species of birds than any other U.S. national park. There are over 450 species of birds here, which is more than any other U.S. park and over 50% of the total species of birds in North America. Here's another fun fact for you. Big Bend National Park was used by astronauts to prepare for their first lunar landing. They needed instruction on how to recognize geological features on the moon, and especially how to select the most geologically interesting rock samples to bring back to Earth. And some of the leaders in the project determined that the area that Big Bend lies in was the best for field training because it consisted of the greatest variety of geology in the smallest area than any other place in the United States. How cool is that? Hi, I'm back. Just left the national park so I can film again. We are heading to a ghost town. How fun is that? Terlingua Ghost Town is our next stop. A lot of history, a lot of cool buildings and things to see, so I'm really excited about that. I can record the views. I had a very nice 4-night stay in the park, Cottonwood Campground. No generators, can't run your vehicles, no hookups, and it was nice and mostly quiet. You know, national parks get really busy at night and really quiet during the day because people go out and explore. And my friends Edie and Cindy showed up. It's been a couple nights ago, so got to spend a little time with them, do a little hiking. Very little hiking. It got really hot yesterday in the sun, really hot. So, yeah, beautiful park. Really, really pretty park. I wasn't so excited my first night coming in because I was tired, but driving out this morning, I was like, so this is Study Butte, Terlingua, but the Terlingua Ghost Town is separate. Should be a turnoff up here. I'm running very low on supplies. I'm completely out of dog food. I had to borrow dog food from my friends, and just a couple other things. I'm gonna hit my big stores, Sprouts or Natural Grocers in Las Cruces, but I'm gonna pick up a couple things. Plus, it just looks like a really cute little grocery store, Cottonwood General Store. So let's go check it out. I am dog food, but not my brand. No, nothing I'd even feed her in an emergency. They have a good selection. Look at oat milk. Wow. All right. Well, that was fun. You want to see what I got? Do you want to see what I got? I got a mocha cold brew. I got some chips. I got you some tuna fish. Maybe I'll have a little, some salsa, some black beans, some coleslaw, cut cabbage. Well, yeah, Mom got something really good for you. We don't need no stinking dog food. I got some cocoa rolls, vegan, gluten-free. We got some corn tortillas. Look at that. Mom got you some chicken. I got you some chicken. What do you think of that? You shouldn't eat processed food all the time anyway. I'll cook you some chicken. Yeah, that's gonna be dinner. Maybe some chicken and pumpkin and oatmeal. What do you think? That store literally had everything. I think I challenge you, if you ever stop by, to look for something in that store that they don't have. I challenge you. They had everything. I love little stores like that. They're just fun. All right. Woohoo. So now we're good for a couple of days if we want to boondock before we go to Las Cruces. I have a boondocking spot scouted about, I think, a half hour north of Marfa. And I was just going to stay there one night because I was running so low on supplies, especially dog food. But she can eat chicken and oatmeal for a couple of days. I don't think she'll mind. I met a guy, Paul, I don't know if you're going to start watching my videos, who at the national park, who fed his dog raw meat, just a raw meat diet with oatmeal and pumpkin. And it got me thinking, you know, there's a commercial on, I've seen it on YouTube, no living being should eat processed food for every meal for their entire life. And that has really stuck with me. She shouldn't eat processed food, even if I give her the best food on the market. Science diet, and every time I say that, I get challenged. Okay, that's my opinion. But anyway, yeah. I don't know, any of you guys feed your dogs raw meat? I mean, raw chicken, he said, raw beef. Had a healthy 7-year-old dog. Any of you guys ever do that? I'm going to look into it. All right. I'm excited. I got some goodies. Got some drinks. All right. 170 West. Yeah, but it wasn't marked. I thought it would be. I thought there would be a sign that said Terlingua or even Ghost Town, but not marked at all. Jeep tours. Terlingua Ghost Town. There it is once you turn off. Lots of campgrounds, RV parks, a couple inns down this way. So here's another motel coming up. So stay outside the park. Chisos Mining, Easter Egg Valley. What a very cool and very funky area. There's a lot for sale out here. If I was a woman, I wouldn't want to live in Texas. Passing wind. The name Terlingua was given to 3 different settlements in this area. The original site was a Mexican village on Terlingua Creek, 3 miles above the confluence of the Rio Grande. With the discovery of quicksilver in the area in the 1880s, the Marfa and Mariposa mining camp became known as Terlingua. The original site was then referred to as Terlingua Abaja, or Lower Terlingua. Wow, this is so cool. I love places like this. A lot of art studios. I've seen that's like second or third art sign I've seen. Look how adorable that is. Oh my gosh, an adorable little tiny home. In 1902, in addition to the mine complex, Terlingua consisted of several temporary structures occupied by 200 to 300 laborers, mostly Mexican. I don't know where I can park. 3 years later, the population had increased to 1,000. When the Marfa and Mariposa mine closed in May 1910, the Terlingua post office, which had been established in 1899, was moved 10 miles east to the Chisos Mining Company camp. The name was retained. During the next 2 decades, both the village and the mining company prospered. And by 1913, Terlingua's 1,000 inhabitants had access to a company-owned commissary, hotel, a company doctor, some phone service, a dependable water supply, and 3 times a week mail delivery. Getting a little Slab City vibe. Very cool. Very artsy, very quirky. Very cool. See ruins everywhere. All kinds of old stone buildings. About 70 people live here, and some of it is private residence, so I'm a little bit afraid to go wandering off too much. I don't want to wander into somebody's yard. Oh, here's one though. We have a racquetball game going on? No, what is that? Oh, is that new game that everybody's playing? With the paddles. Pickleball. Quicksilver production peaked in the country during World War I. By 1922, 40% of the quicksilver mined in the United States came from Terlingua. Wow. You okay, City Girl? You stuck? Is that the fireplace? Look how small this is. Wow. But production began to decline steadily during the 1930s. On October 1st, 1942, the Chisos Mining Company filed for bankruptcy. Look at, I'm 5'4" and I have to duck. Oh, yep, I still have to duck to get out this door. Wow. A successor firm ceased operations at the end of World War II when most of the population dispersed. Terlingua then became a ghost town. But during the late 1960s and early 1970s, tourism brought new life to the village. According to one historian, the discovery of quicksilver and cinnabar is so shrouded in myth and legend that they don't really know when it was first discovered or even where it was first discovered. But they do say the Native Americans were using cinnabar long before Europeans colonists got here. They were using it for pictographs. So there's probably a lot of pictographs in the area that were made using cinnabar. All kinds of cans. Oh, look. Cans. Glass. It's just a rock, but look at, so I may have found the dump site, which is always my favorite. Can you read that? Just numbers. Oh, look at that. A handle. Nice. Lots of cans. Oh my goodness. Wow. And of course, the old car. Oh my gosh. Look at the old seat frame is still here. Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. The stories. This is cool. Imagine living in something like this. You could live in something like this. Maybe. Wow. All the purple glass. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, tourism brought new life to the village. Terlingua became famous for its annual chili cook-off, and in 1967 was deemed the chili capital of the world by the Chili Appreciation Society. and it still holds that title today. You might also recognize Terlingua from some 1990s television. In 1994, it was in a TV movie called Gambler 4, Playing for Keeps, with Kenny Rogers. And in 1995, it was in the TV miniseries Streets of Laredo. Can you imagine being locked in here? Now, this is my kind of destination spot. Remember when I was driving through Gettysburg and I was like, you know, it'd be really cool to make this a destination and stay for a few days. This is something I would love to do. Stay here and wander around at night. Oh my gosh, I would totally love to do that. And even spend a couple days, you know, exploring all the nooks and crannies and going for hikes out in the desert around it. I need to become a better planner. Either that or even more fluid than I am, and just being, you know, I kind of already have my mind made up about what I need to do and want to do the next couple of days. If I could be a little more flexible in that, I could just be like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to stay nearby. But that's not me. But cool. For reservations, visit bigbendholidayhotel.com. Awesome. Man, I want to see the rooms. Maybe online. There are a few businesses still left in Terlingua, including the Terlingua Trading Post, a cafe, a hotel, a little restaurant. Of course, the saloon is still operating, a post office, and there's a couple other little businesses in town. Oh my God, how old do you think this is? Look at this. Wow. All-in-one slide monkey bars. Wow. Wow. What is that billboard? I've seen these in the desert in New Mexico too. Like big billboards out in the middle of nowhere. I wonder what they are. I should ask. I think I will. So one of the biggest mines, the Chisos mine, is here in Terlingua. They mined quicksilver, which is also known as mercury, and cinnabar. So the largest mine in the area ran from 1902 to 1942, and they took out, they said, 10,000 flasks of quicksilver out of here. They said there were like 23 miles of underground tunnels and 17 tiers, 17 layers, stories to the mine. Can you imagine 23 miles and 17 stories underground to mine this? That's crazy. So I think the mines ran here until the 1940s, and at its height, the population here was 3,000. Today it's about 70. It'd be kind of a cool place to live. I want to live in a ghost town, almost a ghost town. I guess if people live here, it's not a true ghost town. But that's a lot of mercury, quicksilver, mercury, cinnabar. I guess quicksilver and cinnabar mercury comes from those, I think. All right, I got to get back to my dog. We're having a bad day. She's extremely not listening to me today. Like, worse than she's ever been. Don't know what's going on. So, I just left her behind. She's fine in the rig. It's cool enough. All right. Fun store. You're gonna see this after Christmas, but I bought a couple things to give away on Christmas Day live stream. You're gonna like it. That was a fun stop. That was a very fun stop. And the lady, Anna, who works in the store, watches my channel. Hi, thank you. And I said, I asked her if she lives here. She said she lives here in an RV, in one of the RV parks. And I said, I'm kind of getting Slab City vibes. And she's like, yeah, only there's more law and order here. No building codes, but more law and order. I just find that a little ironic. Texas free has more law and order than a place in California. I just find that really interesting. Freedom, don't tread on me. Oh, I didn't go to the cemetery. Oh well, next time. I'll go to the cemetery some other time. I'm kind of done. Yeah, I just find that kind of interesting. It's interesting to reality versus perception. Wow, it'd be cool to live here though. I said, so you could buy a piece of land and just park your RV out here because there's no building codes? She said, not yet. There's no building codes yet, so. We live in a real life ghost town. Texas politics, and especially their politics toward women, but it is a really cool state to it's beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful things to see, and driving in this part, the southern part, man, it's just so many different quirky houses and RVs and tiny houses and homesteads. It's really pretty cool. It really does look kind of like the Old West, I guess, right? You just come out here, claim your land, and set your life up. It's too bad. It's really too bad. I could never live here. Sorry. Sorry. right, so how fun was that? I hope you enjoyed Big Bend with me and this cool little amazing ghost town. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be in Arizona at a really cool boondocking spot where I spent some time with friends. And then in 2 weeks, guess where we're gonna be? We're gonna be in Mexico. Yep, that's right. 2 weeks from today will be my first video from Mexico, Baja. Yeah. So be sure to subscribe below if you want to see all that and you never want to miss a thing. And if you want bonus content, go ahead and check out Patreon. You can now join Patreon for free, where I am posting some free bonus content. But if you like my work and you want to support my channel, you can join for just as little as $5 a month and get even more bonus content. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you so much. Everything you do, watching, subscribing, commenting, helps keep my channel alive. So I'll see you around. Got some good stuff coming up. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, be happy, be free, be kind. Bye.